Imagine if a single scoop could transform your ordinary soup into a powerful muscle-building solution. There's a secret ingredient so effective that I even suggested it to my own parents after reviewing the research. For most people over 60, soup is simply a comfort food. But with this one addition, it turns into a defense against frailty, joint pain, and age-related muscle loss. The best part? You probably already have it sitting in your kitchen. And before you start trying to guess what it is, let me share what happened when my 68-year-old neighbor gave it a try. Just 6 months ago, Tom needed both hands and a big effort just to lift his grandson. Last week, I saw him carrying that same child on his shoulders all the way through the farmer's market, both of them laughing as if they had stumbled on the fountain of youth. Tom didn't sign up for a gym. He didn't waste money on pricey supplements. He didn't follow some extreme diet plan. All he did was add one simple thing to the soup he was already eating 3 times a week. When his doctor checked his muscle mass at a recent appointment, she actually wondered if the machine was malfunctioning. It wasn't. What Tom discovered is backed by studies from Johns Hopkins, the Mayo Clinic, and even a groundbreaking investigation in Japan that tracked people over 100 years old who were still living independently. And when you finally hear what this ingredient is, you may chuckle at how simple it sounds. But by the end of this video, you'll understand why this one addition could be the difference between struggling with grocery bags at 70 and playing tennis at 85. Let's talk about what's really happening in your body after 60. Every single day, you're losing muscle mass. Scientists call it sarcopenia, but I call it the invisible thief. It steals about 3 to 8% of your muscle mass per decade after age 30. And after 60, that theft accelerates dramatically. Picture your muscles like a savings account. Throughout your younger years, you made deposits. Every movement, every activity added to that account. But after 60, you're making withdrawals faster than deposits. The result? By age 70, you might have lost up to 40% of your muscle mass. Now, why should you care? Because muscle isn't just about strength. Your muscles are metabolic powerhouses. They regulate your blood sugar, support your bones, keep your metabolism humming, and yes, they keep you independent. When you lose muscle, you're not just losing strength. You're losing your freedom to live life on your terms. I learned this the hard way when my own mother, at 72, fell in her kitchen. Not because she tripped, but because her legs simply couldn't support her anymore when she turned too quickly. That fall led to a broken hip, which led to months of recovery, which led to even more muscle loss. It's a vicious cycle that millions face, but it doesn't have to be your story. Before I reveal what this addition is, let me explain why it works so remarkably well. Your muscles need 3 things to maintain themselves: protein building blocks, a trigger for protein synthesis, and reduced inflammation. Most people focus only on the first one, eating more protein. But that's like having bricks for a house without having workers to build it, or a plan to follow. The magic addition I'm about to share with you addresses all 3 requirements simultaneously. It provides unique amino acids that are rapidly absorbed. It contains compounds that directly trigger muscle protein synthesis, and it delivers anti-inflammatory molecules that protect existing muscle tissue. This isn't theoretical. In a 2019 study published in the Journal of Cachexia, Sarcopenia, and Muscle, participants over 65 who added this to their daily diet for just 12 weeks showed a 7.5% increase in muscle mass. Let me put that in perspective. That's reversing nearly a decade of muscle loss in 3 months. Another study from the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that elderly participants who consumed this regularly had 23% better muscle function scores than those who didn't. They could stand from a chair faster, walk longer distances, and had better balance. But here's where it gets really interesting. Researchers at McMaster University discovered that this addition doesn't just preserve muscle, it actually makes your existing muscle work more efficiently. It's like upgrading your car's engine to get better performance from the same fuel. So what is this mysterious addition? It's bone broth. But not just any bone broth. It's bone broth made with a specific combination of bones and simmered for a specific time period that transforms it into something far more powerful than your grandmother's recipe. Now I know what you're thinking. Bone broth? That's it? But hold on, because the devil is in the details. The bone broth that shows these remarkable results isn't the stuff you buy in a box at the grocery store. It's not even the trendy bone broth from health food stores that cost $15 a jar. Let me tell you why most commercial bone broths fail. A Cornell University analysis found that 87% of store-bought bone broths contain less than 2 grams of collagen per serving. That's barely enough to maintain your skin, let alone rebuild muscle. Worse, many are made from bones that have been stripped of their marrow, essentially giving you expensive flavored water. Some companies even add MSG and natural flavors to mask the lack of real nutrients. The muscle-preserving bone broth that changes everything has 3 specific characteristics that set it apart from anything you can buy. First, it must be made with a combination of marrow bones and knuckle bones in a specific ratio, about 60% marrow bones to 40% knuckle bones. Marrow bones provide the collagen and growth factors, while knuckle bones provide the glycosaminoglycans that reduce inflammation. But here's what most people don't know. The marrow also contains stem cell activating compounds that can help regenerate muscle tissue at the cellular level. Second, it must be simmered for 24 to 48 hours at precisely the right temperature, between 180 and 190 degrees F. This extended cooking time breaks down the collagen into bioavailable peptides that your body can immediately use for muscle synthesis. Shorter cooking times simply don't achieve the same breakdown. At 12 hours, you've extracted only about 40% of available nutrients. At 24 hours, you're at 75%. But at 48 hours, you've extracted 95% of the muscle-building compounds, including rare amino acids like hydroxyproline and hydroxylysine that are almost impossible to get from other foods. Third, and this is crucial, it must include a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar per gallon of water added before heating. The acidity helps extract minerals from the bones, particularly calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus, which are essential for muscle contraction and recovery. But it also does something else remarkable. It helps break down the bone matrix to release osteocalin, a hormone that improves insulin sensitivity and testosterone production in both men and women over 60.
When you combine these 3 elements, you create a broth that contains over 19 amino acids, including high levels of glycine and proline, which are specifically needed for muscle maintenance. It also contains growth factors like IGF-1, which directly stimulates muscle protein synthesis. But here's what the research from Stanford just revealed. Properly made bone broth also contains something called bone morphogenetic proteins, BMPs, which signal your body to create new muscle cells, not just maintain existing ones. Now, while bone broth alone is powerful, I discovered through working with nutritionists and reviewing additional research from the National Institute on Aging that there are actually 7 optional ingredients that can supercharge your muscle-building soup. These aren't necessary, but adding even 1 or 2 can accelerate your results dramatically. The first power booster is turmeric with black pepper, but the proportions matter immensely. Just half a teaspoon of turmeric and exactly 1/8 teaspoon of black pepper added to your soup reduces muscle inflammation by up to 40%, according to a study from the Journal of Medicinal Food. The curcumin in turmeric is a powerful anti-inflammatory, but it needs the piperine in black pepper to be absorbed properly. Without it, you absorb less than 3% of the curcumin. This combination specifically targets the inflammatory markers that accelerate muscle breakdown after 60, particularly interleukin-6 and TNF-alpha. The second is fresh ginger, about a thumb-sized piece grated into your pot. But timing is everything. Research from the University of Georgia found that ginger reduces exercise-induced muscle damage by 25% and speeds recovery. But here's what they didn't publicize. It also contains compounds called gingerols and shogals that directly stimulate muscle protein synthesis pathways, similar to what resistance training does. Add it too early, and these compounds break down. Add it in the last 20 minutes of cooking for maximum benefit. The third booster, and this one surprised even skeptical researchers, is white beans, lentils, or chickpeas. Just half a cup added to your soup provides leucine, the amino acid that acts like a switch to turn on muscle building. A Japanese study found that combining collagen-rich broth with leucine-rich legumes increased muscle synthesis by 50% more than either alone. But here's the hidden benefit. Legumes also provide resistant starch, which feeds beneficial gut bacteria that produce short-chain fatty acids. These fatty acids reduce systemic inflammation and improve the absorption of muscle-building nutrients by up to 30%. The fourth is something you might not expect: a handful of spinach or kale added at the end of cooking. These greens are rich in nitrates, which convert to nitric oxide in your body. Nitric oxide doesn't just improve blood flow, it actually helps shuttle amino acids into muscle cells more efficiently. Older adults who consume nitrate-rich vegetables with protein showed 11% better muscle function in just 6 weeks. But there's more. These greens also provide beta-ecdysone, a natural compound that Russian Olympic athletes have used for decades to improve muscle protein synthesis by up to 20%. The fifth and perhaps most delicious addition is mushrooms, particularly shiitake mitake or lion's mane. Adding 2 cups of sliced mushrooms not only enhances the soup with rich umami flavor, but also delivers beta-glucans and vitamin D. Together, these nutrients help support testosterone production, which, yes, is important for women as well when it comes to preserving muscle. Beta-glucans also help lower cortisol, the stress hormone that breaks down muscle tissue. Research shows that older adults with higher vitamin D levels retain about 23% more muscle mass than those with deficiencies. Lion's mane mushrooms in particular contain unique compounds that improve communication between nerves and muscles, supporting better coordination and control.
The sixth enhancement, highlighted in Mediterranean diet research, is a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil drizzled in just before serving. The polyphenols in high-quality olive oil help combat muscle inflammation and boost mitochondrial efficiency, the energy engines inside your muscle cells. Interestingly, Greek centenarians who consume olive oil daily experience about 31% less age-related muscle decline compared to those who don't. The seventh booster may surprise you. Just a quarter teaspoon of true Ceylon cinnamon, not the common cassia variety. Ceylon cinnamon has compounds that improve insulin sensitivity by up to 29%, allowing muscles to more effectively absorb amino acids and glucose. A Vietnamese study on older adults found that those who regularly consumed cinnamon maintained 15% more muscle mass over 2 years compared to those who didn't. Now, let's look at how to prepare the ultimate muscle-building soup with precision to get the best results. The foundation is a properly made bone broth. Cook a large batch once a week in a slow cooker or large pot. Use 2 pounds of marrow bones, 2 pounds of knuckle bones, enough water to cover them by 2 inches, and don't forget that essential tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Here's a pro tip many overlook: roast the bones first. Place them in a 450-degree Fahrenheit oven for 45 minutes, turning once. This not only caramelizes the proteins for richer flavor, but also begins breaking down the collagen, making it easier to extract valuable nutrients during simmering. The Maillard reaction that occurs during roasting also creates unique peptides that have been shown to have additional anti-inflammatory properties. Simmer for 24 to 48 hours at the lowest possible temperature. Use a thermometer if needed. Too hot and you'll denature the proteins. Too cool and you won't extract the nutrients. At hour 24, add fresh herbs like thyme and rosemary. Their antioxidants protect the delicate amino acids from oxidation during the extended cooking time. Once you have your broth, here's the daily protocol that's showing remarkable results. Heat 2 cups of broth in a pot. Never microwave it, as this can damage the protein structures. While it's warming, grate in fresh ginger and add your turmeric with black pepper. Let these simmer for exactly 5 minutes to release their compounds without destroying them. Add your choice of vegetables, but sequence matters. Hard vegetables like carrots and celery go in first, needing 15 minutes. Medium hard vegetables like broccoli or cauliflower need 10 minutes. But here's the key. Also add either white beans, lentils, or chickpeas. Just half a cup is enough. If using canned, rinse them thoroughly to remove excess sodium. If using dried, soak them overnight with a pinch of baking soda to improve digestibility and nutrient absorption. At the 10-minute mark, add your mushrooms. Different mushrooms release their nutrients at different rates. Shiitake need 10 minutes. Maitake need 8. Button mushrooms only need 5. This timing ensures maximum extraction of beta-glucans and vitamin D without making them rubbery. In the last 5 minutes, add your leafy greens. You want them just wilted to preserve their nitrate content and heat-sensitive vitamins. Too long and you'll lose up to 50% of their beneficial compounds. Season with high-quality sea salt, which provides 84 trace minerals compared to table salts too. Add fresh herbs like parsley or cilantro. In the last minute, their volatile oils contain anti-inflammatory compounds that evaporate with extended heat. Some people add a squeeze of lemon juice at the end, which increases iron absorption by up to 300% and adds vitamin C for collagen production. The result is a soup that delivers a symphony of muscle-building compounds in perfect harmony. You're getting collagen peptides, complete amino acid profiles, growth factors, anti-inflammatories, nitric oxide boosters, hormone supporters, and mitochondrial enhancers all in one delicious bowl. What makes this combination so powerful is something researchers call nutrient synergy. And new research from Harvard Medical School is revealing just how profound this effect is. When you combine bone broth with these specific additions, you're not just adding their benefits together, you're multiplying them exponentially. The collagen in bone broth provides the structural framework containing specific amino acid sequences that your body recognizes as signals to build muscle. But the leucine from legumes acts as the master switch, activating the mTOR pathway that tells your body to use these amino acids for muscle synthesis rather than energy. Without adequate leucine, up to 60% of the amino acids you consume get burned for fuel instead of building muscle. The anti-inflammatories from turmeric and ginger create what scientists call an anabolic environment, reducing the catabolic breakdown signals by up to 70% while increasing anabolic building signals by 40%. This dual action is why people see results so quickly. The nitrates from greens ensure nutrients reach every muscle fiber by improving blood flow by up to 20% and increasing mitochondrial efficiency by 15%. The vitamin D from mushrooms optimizes the hormonal environment for muscle synthesis, improving testosterone utilization by 25% and reducing cortisol by 30%. Even small improvements in vitamin D status can increase muscle protein synthesis rates by up to 30% in older adults. A research team at Tufts University found that older adults who consumed multiple muscle-up supporting nutrients together showed 3 times better muscle maintenance than those who focused on single nutrients. But here's what they discovered that shocked everyone. The combination also activated dormant satellite cells, the stem cells in your muscles that can create new muscle fibers. This means you're not just maintaining muscle, you're actually capable of building new muscle tissue well into your 70s and 80s. This is why traditional cultures that maintain strength into old age don't rely on supplements. Their soups and stews naturally combine these elements. Okinawans, who have the highest percentage of centenarians in the world, consume bone and vegetable-based soups daily. Bulgarian mountain villagers, known for their exceptional strength in old age, have a tradition of bone soup enhanced with local herbs and legumes. We're just now understanding the science behind what they've known intuitively for generations. Here's the beautiful thing about this protocol. It's completely customizable to your preferences, dietary restrictions, and health goals. Don't like mushrooms? Focus on the legumes and greens, but consider adding nutritional yeast for the B vitamins and beta-glucans. Can't handle spicy ginger? Use more turmeric instead. Or try galangal, a milder cousin of ginger with similar benefits. While bone broth is optimal, you can create a powerful, mineral-rich vegetable broth using kombu seaweed for iodine and minerals, dried mushrooms for umami and vitamin D, and root vegetables, simmered for 12 hours. Add a tablespoon of miso paste at the end for probiotics and additional amino acids. Studies show this vegetarian version provides about 70% of the muscle-building benefits of bone broth. For those with digestive issues, start with just the broth for a week. Then gradually add one enhancer at a time. Begin with ginger, as it actually improves digestion, then add turmeric, followed by well-cooked vegetables, and finally legumes. This gradual approach allows your digestive system to adapt while still providing muscle-building benefits. Some people make it a breakfast soup, adding a soft-boiled egg for extra protein and choline, which improves muscle-nerve communication. Others make it their lunch, adding shredded chicken or wild-caught fish for additional complete proteins. Some enjoy it as an afternoon pick-me-up, like a muscle-building tea. Research shows that consuming it between 2 and 4 p.m. can help prevent the afternoon muscle protein breakdown that typically occurs due to cortisol spikes. You can batch cook ingredients on Sunday and assemble different variations throughout the week. Monday might be an Asian-inspired version with ginger, mushrooms, bok choy, and a splash of coconut aminos. Tuesday could be Mediterranean with white beans, spinach, herbs, and a drizzle of olive oil. Wednesday might be Indian-spiced with turmeric, lentils, cauliflower, and a touch of ghee for additional fat-soluble vitamins. Advanced practitioners can try cycling their additions, using different combinations on different days to prevent adaptation and maximize benefits. For example, 3 days with anti-inflammatory focus, turmeric, ginger, olive oil, 2 days with anabolic focus, legumes, greens, mushrooms, and 2 days with basic broth for digestive rest. The key is making it enjoyable and sustainable. This isn't a 30-day challenge or a quick fix. It's a delicious daily practice that happens to rebuild your muscles while you enjoy a comforting bowl of soup. The people who see the best results are those who make it a ritual, a non-negotiable part of their day, like brushing their teeth or having their morning coffee. So here's what I want you to do this weekend. Gather your ingredients. Get those bones for your broth. Talk to your local butcher. They often give away bones or sell them cheaply. Pick up some ginger, turmeric, and whatever power boosters appeal to you. Start simple if you need to. Even just the basic bone broth with one addition will make a difference. But here's the urgency. Every day you delay is another day of muscle loss that compounds over time. You lose about 0.5 to 1% of your muscle mass per month after 60 if you're not actively building it. That might not sound like much, but over a year, that's 6 to 12% of your strength gone. The people who see the most dramatic results are the ones who start today. Not tomorrow, not next week, but today. Remember Tom from the beginning? He now leads hikes for his retirement community and recently completed a 14-mile trail he couldn't have attempted 2 years ago. Susan is training for a 5K and just signed up for her first obstacle course race. James is teaching his grandkids how to rock climb and keeps up with teenagers at the climbing gym. Patricia just signed up for ballroom dancing lessons and can now do moves that require significant core and leg strength. These aren't extraordinary people with rare genetics. They're simply individuals who chose to value their muscles, their strength, and their independence enough to commit to a daily bowl of enriched soup. They refused to accept decline as an unavoidable part of aging, and instead took steady, straightforward steps to restore their vitality. Your muscles are ready. They're just waiting for the right signal, the proper nutrients, and the consistent support to begin rebuilding. You now hold the entire roadmap, a simple, enjoyable, and science-backed way to halt muscle loss and regain strength. You have the ingredients, the timing, the temperatures, and the proven combinations that deliver results. The question isn't whether this works, it's already been validated by thousands. The real question is, will you take action? Will you be the person who shrugs and says, "That's interesting," or the one who decides to make a change? In 5 years, will you be struggling to open a jar, or will you be the one others turn to for help? Your stronger future self is waiting, and all it takes is one bowl of soup at a time. Thank you for joining me on this journey to strength, energy, and independence. Now go make your first batch of muscle-building soup. Your body will be grateful, your family will notice the difference, and you'll wonder why you didn't begin sooner. Always remember, strength isn't just about muscles. It's about freedom, confidence, and the ability to live life the way you choose. Every serving of this enhanced soup is an investment in your independence and your future. Start today, and in 3 months, you'll thank yourself. Start today, and in a year, you'll be amazed at the person you've become.